It's all about culture. It's all about purpose. It's all about design. It's all about innovation. So it's about those four things. There's no prayer, there's no additional funding, there's nothing that changes the outcome dramatically of the thing that is already designed. The car can only go so fast. The institution can only work in a certain way if it's organized in a certain way or designed in a certain way. So what we focused on and what I focused on was changing the culture from faculty centrism to student centrism, changing the design from a simple bureaucracy to an adaptive, adaptive design-oriented organization. Almost all universities are simple bureaucracies in an organizational theory sense. How do you make the organization adaptive? How do you make it design-driven as opposed to politically driven, as opposed to political exchange-driven? How do you make it idea-driven, design-driven, outcome-driven? And then in terms of embracing innovation, you can't think that the University of 17th century central France is going to be really a well-oiled machine in 21st century central Arizona. It's not. It won't even work. The concepts aren't even the same. Yet we have universities that look and feel no different than the ideas of central France in the 1700s. You know, the same departments, the same units, the same schools, the same way that they're designed, the same authority structure, the same role of the faculty. We can't have that. And then lastly, on what I mentioned in terms of innovation and technology, we have to find a way to scale and to lower cost. And so what we did was we worked on all of those things as a part of the overall transformation into this new American university. So one thing that I said about the new American university is that imagine that you took the conceptual design of the United States, equality, pursuit of happiness, liberty, freedom of speech, and then you took the culture of the United States. The United States is in and of itself an innovation, risk-taking, innovation, adaptation. Then you add to that, as a function of equality, egalitarian access, egalitarian treatment, which we haven't had in the past at the level that we aspire to, but we're working in that direction. What would an American university look like? And how would it be different than, let's say, the traditional British, German, French, Dutch, Italian universities? Well, it would be based on those things that are representative of more of our culture. It would be more egalitarian. It would be more innovative. It would be more adaptive. It would be more focused on rate of change, speed of change. It would be more polycultural. It would recognize the breadth of peoples that have come to the United States and all the places that they've come from. It would be more focused on building the democracy for success rather than just living through all of the forms of government that the other universities have survived their way through. I think also important to all of this is social purpose and social mission. If your purpose is generic, I teach at public school 12, okay, you have a generic purpose. It's certainly important, but generic purposes can't work in universities. Universities are too special. They're located in particular places. They're serving the states, which are the laboratories of democracy. So the public universities in the United States are all or almost all owned and managed on behalf of the states. Why are they all the same? They shouldn't be the same. They should all be different. They should all be unique to the objectives of those states. That doesn't mean that they don't all teach some of the same things. It just means that they're not doing all of the same things. So part of the approach was to vary the model, to vary the operating set of objectives. The other thing I think is the transformation of the culture from the typical university culture is no, we can't do that, to yes, and. So yes, comma, and it might be hard. Yes, comma, and we'll have to fix this, but we're going to figure out how to do it. And so culture change, dynamic change, empowerment of design, empowering the faculty. So with the fact that we built a faculty-centric model replacement through a student-centric institution doesn't mean that the faculty aren't essential to the success. They are the means to the success, but they're not the reason the institution exists. So we changed the norms and created in that norm variation, an opportunity for new designs, an opportunity to empower the faculty to design in new ways to make things happen. So we did all of that. And then, in my role, all changes are resisted. Nothing's personal. Don't take anything personal. You know, all I say is that, you know, you don't like my idea? Okay. We're not going to keep doing the same thing because here's the results of that. Low graduation rate, low diversity, low this, low this, low this, underperforming here, underperforming there. We're not going to keep doing that. If you got a better idea, what is it? Don't critique this idea unless you have a better idea. And so that sort of generality of approach was also useful.